Best audio show in the country.
The way it's professionally run, the clientele, the facility.
AXPONA is our favorite show when it comes to audiophiles.
It's a great crowd, growing show. The venue is outstanding.
The quality, the knowledgeable people, felt like a kid in a candy store.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Qobuz Live this Thursday. We've got a special show today, and we're going to be talking about AXPONA. It's a show that we're going to be doing in just a few weeks in Chicago, and we've got Mark Freed, one of the coordinators of the show, with us, along with a few of the people that are actually going to be at the show and showing you their really, really cool stuff. We've got Mike from Dine Audio with us. We've got Nuno from Inuus, one of my very favorite servers in the world. We've got Jeff Coates on from Project. So yeah, we've got a fun show for you guys. Before we start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Qobuz. We have got now over 80 million songs. Now we started this the show, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I still remember going, oh, we've got 40 million tracks, and then all of a sudden it was 50, then 60, then 70. We just hit 80, and we're looking at 90 not too long from now. Everything that we do is either at least 1644 or 60 or CD quality or above. We go all the way up to 192 kilobits, 24192. And when you start getting to that kind of resolution, it is incredible. Everyone here is a huge fan, and we are so super pleased to be supporting and sponsoring the AXPONA show. We're not only do streaming, but we do downloads. And some go, well, it's not, downloads aren't really a big business anymore, is it? And actually it is. It's actually a pretty darn good business, and it's getting better and better every week that we talk about this. I try to encourage people to download music. Yeah, your artists don't make a lot of money on streaming. I think everyone knows that, but we do have a mechanism in which artists can make scale, and that's downloading. You really do get very good deals on the downloads from Qobuz. However, the lion's share goes to the rights holders and the musicians at that point. So it's a really, really great way to support your favorite musicians. And hey, life's changing. This is kind of the way life is changing. So I also encourage you that when you start going to concerts this year, they seem to be all opening back up again. Buy a t-shirt, buy an album, buy something from these folks. It's how they make their living. And we're really, really proud to be able to at least help these folks out this way. We've got 3 different plans. They're all, God, have gotten so inexpensive. When we came to the US, we were $25 a month. And honestly, I got to tell you, I still think that's a great deal. If you start thinking about how much of our stuff is in high resolution and what that would actually cost you to buy, $25 a month, it just seems to me like a very low price. It's down to $10.83 a month now. We're basically meeting competition. We're certainly on no race to the bottom, but it is what it is. The world is changing. We've got a duo plan as well, so you and your mate can share in the fun for about $15 a month. And then we've also got a family plan that holds up to 5 accounts for $18 a month. So high resolution streaming is now very, very inexpensive, and there's almost no reason not to do high resolution streaming. There is absolutely, unless you are just a total background music listener, there's no reason to listen to MP3 anymore. The technology is past it, and the sound quality is so much better at full or high resolution. So support your favorite artists. We already talked about that. These are the kind of prices you can get on our download store. I wish I had those on a little bit different order. However, just a normal human being can go on to Qobuz and hit the download store and anyone, you don't have to be a subscriber to Qobuz, but anyone that goes to the Qobuz download store can buy this Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon at, I believe it's $24,192 at $19.49, which just that price for a high resolution recording like this is unheard of. However, if you're a Sublime member, which is about $15 a month, you get the same album for $12.99. So if you are one of those that likes to download that either for collection reasons or for support reasons, if you download more than say 2 or 3 albums per month, hop on the Sublime, the Sublime subscription, because it'll end up paying for itself basically with that many downloads. If you're a big downloader, there's no other way to go than Sublime, because you end up saving so much money on your files. And the other thing that we've got going for us is a ton of in-house curated editorial. That's a big part of who we are. We don't feel like we should just throw the music out there with nothing behind it. So we're always doing panoramas and Qobuz memes and things that feature specific artists. You'll hop on these artist pages, and if you like the artist, cool. And also there's suggestions for other artists. So it's a really neat little program. So thank you for listening to The Little Boiler. And the first guy I'm bringing up is the coordinator and one of the leaders of AXPONA. Mark Freed does an incredible job. I've known Mark now for, I guess, maybe 6 or 7 years. And I find him to be extremely dedicated to what he's doing. And I know it's JD Events. They do other shows, other kinds of shows. They're not all in audio, but for like the first, 4 years, I knew Mark. I thought, like, this is the only thing he does, because that's the way he makes us feel. It's like, this is my only job, is to make you guys happy and to put on a killer audio show. As a result, AXPONA has become the number one, by far the number one audio show in North America. I liken it to, well, when the people in France ask me, when my partners in France ask me, what's AXPONA like? I'm going, it's like a mini, it's as close to anything that we've got. That's as close to Munich as you can possibly get, which is, to me, the very best show in the world. But Mark and Liz Smith, they do a fantastic job with the show. We asked Liz to be here because she's a whole lot easier to look at, but she couldn't make it. So, but Mark said, "Hey, I can make it." So, Mark,
you too? Great. I'm still, after hearing all about Qobuz, I'm still like buying more Qobuz. That was a nice little plug there.
Mark calls me maybe once every 3 or 4 months, pinching himself, going, "Man, I just can't believe how good this sounds." What were you on, like Spotify or something before? I remember you telling me you were on something.
Yeah. Well, we moved into a new, smaller house, and I guess about 2,000 CDs are now in the basement, and I'm streaming. It's really, really great. I feel like a kid in the candy store.
Well, we've now been supporting AXPONA for, I'm trying to remember how many years. 2020 we didn't do it, right?
No, we did not have a 2020 show.
So, and Qobuz just got here in 2018. So I think we did 2018 and 2019. That must have been the 2 shows that we've been.
Correct.
Yeah. So we'll be supporting this show as well, and very, very proud to do it. By the way, this is Liz Smith. This is Mark's partner in crime, doing a little interview. So Liz will be there, and Mark will be there, and we'll be having a great time the whole time we're there. So we had some pretty difficult times there, didn't we, Mark?
Yeah. We needed to pull the plug 1 month before the show. We had to pull it in March. When I think about, we had record attendance and, record number of brands that were coming. We had Ricky Lee Jones, out of your suggestion, I believe, or, as the concert. And unfortunately, the world changed. Since then, the team is intact. And we're ready for now. We're ready for, it'll be 3 years between shows if you think about it, because we were among the first to pull the plug, and the it's going great. If I could just tell you that, this is our 11th year. It took a couple of years to get to our 11th year, so this one goes to 11. Had to say that, and there'll be, people have asked, what the numbers are, and there'll be over 300 brands represented altogether. We're well north of 100 rooms, and there's 10,000 square feet, booths on the floor. With the ear gear experience, there's lots of vinyl, coming, and so there's turntables, and there's really going to be something for everybody. And the thing that I'm really, really excited about is that ticket sales are really going well. People are ready to get out.
Good. We're
really been great.
90 days free subscriptions to Qobuz for everyone that comes to the show.
That's very nice of you.
Well,
no, it is. It's great that you can do that.
Well, we can. It's like we love to support the audio shows. We love to support the audio manufacturers, and I just find it completely bizarre that the other streaming services don't find this is where the value comes in. These are the guys that actually know how to make this stuff sound good. So we're just natural partners with people like you and people like, Mike from Dine, or Neto from Inuus, or Jeff from Project. We're just buddies with these guys. We want to see them good. And we think that there's no way that we shouldn't be partners. If the audio industry does really well, Qobuz does really well. And if Qobuz is doing really well, the audio industry is doing real well. So it's just a really, really good partnership, and I really enjoy these partnerships. So thank you for putting on an awesome show.
Thank you. It's interesting, even the guests that you have on, which is just occurring to me, is like, it really, it shows just how diverse this industry is. There's analog, there's streaming, there's hardware, there's large loudspeakers like Dine Audio has, and then there's the affordable, a bookshelf, loudspeakers that others can do, the ELACs of the world, and there's, they're all coming, so it's really, there's going to be a lot to see.
That's a really good point. You will absolutely. The thing about that I love about AXPONA is it's really hard to do this too, and in fact, it's impossible to do this. You can't go into a building year round and see all of the very best brands that are basically in the world. You just can't do it. This one place is a place you can go to, and in a super, super positive environment, go check out all of the rooms. There are tons of there'll be systems there from probably around $1,500, $2,000 up to probably close to $1 million. So even if you're not in that $1 million category, which I'm not, that I love seeing those systems and seeing what these people can do with the gear that they've come up with. Audio to me today has just come such a long way.
Right. It's interesting. We always survey our attendees, and we survey our exhibitors. How do we do, and what we could do better? And what we really hear is, even though it's great to hear these $1 million systems, which will be there, people say, I love the show, but who could afford this stuff? And I really see that some of the affordable excellence companies really, really do well at the show. And they really, use AXPONA to increase their business. So, I'm grateful for that. But it's very interesting to see how people show, and there's an economies of scale for everything. There's the Wilsons and the Qobuz of the world. And, and certainly, and there are some that monitor, and some others that are affordable.
Other things that Mark has going on at the show, Mark and Liz have got going on at the show too, is they have a seminar series, very interesting seminar series. I know Michael Fremer will be there talking about turntable setup. We'll be there Saturday at 2:15 doing a seminar with about Qobuz and streaming, and a few of the guys that are on the panel with us today will actually be doing the seminar with me. So these seminars are fantastic. They've got a great room, and I believe you guys stream these live, don't you, Mark?
Yes, some of them are, some of them are not. But yeah, so we'll see how we can plug in. Still working those issues out.
Yeah. Well, we will be there with bells on. Dan won't be there this time. But we will have a crew. It looks like we're going to have Neetha, one of my very favorite people in the whole world, and a new lady that just came to work for us, who's just an encyclopedia of music, named Emmeline. This was us at the last. This was the last AXPONA show.
You haven't aged a bit.
Yeah, I kind of have. but thanks for saying so. Anyway, let's talk about the actually, let's, at this point, I'd kind of like to bring on one of our guests. No, from Inuus. How are you doing, my buddy?
I'm very good, David. How are you? How are you, Mark? It's great to see you.
Great to see you.
The last time we got together, I believe, was on a Qobuz Live, maybe 6-8 months ago, right?
That's right. I mean, time flies. It's really crazy.
It is definitely flying.
Even if you're at home.
So I wanted Dano to be on the show with us because he actually has one of my very favorite servers in the world, and streamers in the world. The Inuus line is just absolutely amazing. And one of the first people I met when I went to Qobuz, when I came to Qobuz to begin with, was Nano and Amelia. They're an awesome couple that own this company that I found out during our last.
Yeah, no surprise anymore.
You got to be kidding me. So it's wonderful.
I could have come up today saying, you know what, I've just got another wife or something and I've changed life. But no, it's awesome.
Well, a wonderful, wonderful team with incredible stuff. Do you guys have any new stuff that you guys are going to be showing?
Well, we will be showing some new stuff. We can't reveal it just yet. It will be something new and different from what we currently have on our lineup. So we'll give you some extra reasons to come and visit AXPONA, because you'll be able to come and see some new stuff. But also, and I don't know if you have ever visited us at one of the shows, you know that we'll be very interactive. We'll have our ABs in order to have. So we have from the entry level to the high end, and you can try it out. We have like a headphone setup where people can try things out. So come and see us, because it will be well worth it. It's really awesome for us to be able to have shows again, so that we can meet, our people, not only our customers or prospective customers, but just friends over again, and have the chance to just show them the products and explain them how things work, and they can try it out for themselves. It's not a kind of a, come in and you just have a look around and have a listen and then go out because you're done. No, you can put your own music. You can try the systems out. You can try the app. I mean, incredible as it may seem, we've launched the new app and we've never shown it on a live show. So we would just shown it online. So this will be actually the very first show where we're gonna go and demonstrate our new app live there, and we'll have plenty of Qobuz tracks there to show.
So that doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but I got to tell you, folks, the new app, most apps, most user interfaces for streamers, servers are so boring. They're just not fun to use. That's typically why I don't use them. I'll use an outboard app, but the app they've got for the user interface that they've got for the Inuit stuff is literally second to none. I don't know anybody that's even close to what you guys are accomplishing with that app. So, hey, really good job. But I like the app. It's wonderful. It's very pretty. It's easy to do things. But my thing is the sound quality of the actual Inuit units themselves. The first time I ever heard one was, I think, 4 years ago in Munich. And that's when we first met. And Amelia, I can't remember if it's both of you guys or just Amelia, but one of you guys were going, you got to come in and hear this. All we use is Qobuz, and it sounds incredible. Well, they were showing what was the new key speakers at that point. It's about a $40,000 fully active speakers that are just incredible. And man, we just had a fantastic time. But it was so nice meeting you guys. Then you were so wonderful just to invite me in and show me what Qobuz sounded like, because I was brand new with the company that I've really.
And for us, Qobuz is an inspiration as well, because the sound quality is actually so good that in a lot of cases we have so much difficulty just differentiating from actually playing the local files that we have. And it's also been, as you probably know, a big focus for us to try and improve as much as we can the network aspect of the server. So with things like the Phoenix Net, for instance, to like the audio file switch we do, that's so important as well, because then you can, get the most out of your music, and you can feel like, okay, I can live with streaming if I want to. You can also support your artists, and you can download from Qobuz and then put it on the server as well, so you can enjoy both.
Well, thank you very much for being here. We're very much looking forward to seeing you at AXPONA. Hang out with us a little bit, and we'll bring you back on in just a few minutes, okay?
Absolutely.
The next guy I want to introduce you to has been a good friend of mine since I started in this industry. We've done some crazy stuff together, had some crazy good times together. The guy never ever fails to support. This is Mike Maniselis from Dine Audio, and I consider him just an incredibly great friend. This is Mike up there. He's always having a great time showing off his speakers. They always sound fantastic, and these guys, they do not stop until their rooms sound just absolutely wonderful. Mike, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, David. Good to see you, and thanks for putting this together and for having us here.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you for being here. And so what are you guys going to be doing at the show, Mike?
Well, we're really excited to be able to do this finally. Mark would attest that we've been trying to get a larger space at AXPONA the last couple of years to showcase some of our bigger systems as well. And with the last 2 years of having no show due to, the pandemic, of course, we haven't had an official presentation in the US of our flagship Confidence models. So we are excited to be showing, our Confidence 60 flagship, along with Octave Audio, which is the Tube Electronics line from Germany that we represent here. And we'll be showcasing their flagship Jubilee Mono SE amplifiers and their Jubilee preamp. So we're going to have our state-of-the-art flagship level system, but also, since we have enough space to work with, we're going to be able to showcase some of our more entry-level products as well. Because, again, you guys mentioned earlier, it's one thing to have the $1 million systems, and we all like to look at the car magazines and look at the $1 million hypercars, etc. But that might not be everybody's reality. But there is still a lot of shared DNA from these products that goes into our more attainable models. And we have speakers that start at $800 a pair, and we'll be showcasing those at AXPONA as well.
Great.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. I want to tell you a little bit about who this guy is. I called Mike up maybe 3 years ago, and I said, Mike, I'm doing these guys at the Atlanta Audio Society, really nice people.
That was more than 3 years ago, my friend.
Was that what? How long ago was that?
Oh, God.
It could have been more than 5, right?
No, much longer.
You think?
That was musical fidelity kilowatt days.
Oh my gosh. So it was a while back. But at any rate, what I did was I called Mike and I said, Mike, I'm doing this thing. I want it to be special for these guys. Can you send me down, a pair of your speakers? Mike sends me down their top of the line, see whatever the heck they were. They were like taller than me. They weighed like 300 pounds a piece. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this. Mike flew down. We set the speakers up and did this, I don't know, hour and a half deal with the Atlanta Audio Society. They were so thankful and appreciative, but I was just blown away that Mike would have gone through this much time, trouble, and expense just to support the industry, just to support a small little audio company, a little audiophile society. And that really spoke volumes to me about Mike. I was already a huge fan. So I hope you stop by and see Donnie Audio. We got to set up a flash DJ,
Absolutely.
flash DJ session. I'll be doing a flash DJ session with those guys, as well at some point. But one thing for sure is when we see these guys, we will be having a very good time with them. So thank you very much for being here, Mike. And I can't wait to see you. It's been three.
Thank you both. And again, we will be streaming Qobuz in our suite. So looking forward to sharing some really good music and sharing the passion for the industry, for our gear, but also in general, it's about the music. And, I was really happy to see you, communicate what the artists are going through now too, and anything we can all do collectively to help support them, because without the music, there's no need for what we all purvey here, So we need to respect the artists, and anything we can do to support the music community as a whole, we should do everything we can to do so.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it. It's really wonderful when manufacturers really understand that and understand why we're here. It just makes all the difference in the world. So thank you.
I do also want to say thank you to Mark for putting on AXPONA in Chicago.
Yes.
My hometown. But honestly, a lot of people say how Munich is the best show. But again, Munich is more of a trade show, and it's a great venue for that. And that's what makes it such a good show, because you have the good people, you have the great industry that we're in, but also you have a really appropriate venue. And as far as all the consumer shows I've ever been to in all my, 25 plus years working here at Dyne Audio, the Renaissance in Schaumburg is top notch. It's a great facility, and you guys do a great job putting the show together. There's something for everybody, and thank you for your
Thank you
efforts.
for saying so, Mike. I really appreciate it. It is a great venue. There's unlimited parking. There's meeting rooms. There's food. It's got a wonderful exhibit hall. So
it's a great venue.
So it really, I appreciate it. And you get to sleep home.
Added bonus.
You're the only one I know that does that. Maybe Mick at Quintessence.
He's not the only one.
There's a handful of lucky guys here,
Mike actually, the last time we had the show, I was talking to some buddies of mine. What are you doing? Well, I'm staying with Mike at Dyne. Oh, so what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm staying with Mike at Dyne. I'm going, this guy running a hotel. Thanks for taking care of everybody, Mike. Hang out with us and we'll get you back on.
Absolutely.
Mark, this is awesome. You've got such great people that are going to be at this show, and I'd really like to say that the personalities that you meet at these places are so diverse. Okay. I mean, you go from total geek propeller head that wants to talk about capacitors to people that are just like totally sold out for the music.
Right. I'm only in this it's my 7th year. And so I'm like the newbie. I have friends for life now, and the reason why is that everybody is just about everybody here is just very colorful and passionate about what they do. And it's okay to be a misfit. Finally,
we have low standards in the.
No, it's a compliment, that you could be a little eccentric. You could be a dreamer. Because you have to dream to build, and I really admire the entrepreneurial spirit of a lot of the companies that exhibit with us. It's really great.
So do I. And speaking of entrepreneurial spirits, we've got one. This is another really good buddy of mine, Jeff Coates. And when I say this guy is another just great guy, I cannot express to you how much I mean that. We're at the show in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and Jeff and I are always kind of kidding around, and Jeff lives in Austin, so he's sort of, I guess you could kind of sort of consider that South. It's certainly not Southeast, but it's a good bit more sophisticated than, say, the Atlanta area is, but still South nonetheless. And Jeff found out that through, I don't know, social posts and whatnot, that I like a good greasy spoon, and my favorite greasy spoon is Waffle House. So I get to this show a couple of weeks ago, and I think that's the second day of the show or something. Jeff walks up to me. He goes, "I got a present for you." He pulls out this box. I open it up, and it's a book of Waffle House vistas. It's literally like hundreds of pictures from inside the Waffle House, looking out to whatever venue that's around them, and it is just absolutely hilarious. So our next person up is not only knows just a whole boatload about audio. He's just a great guy and a fun person to talk to.
Well, wow.
Coates from Project.
That was a much nicer. I thought it was going to be more of a bumper on, we have low standards in this industry. And speaking of low standards, here's Jeff Coates. But instead, I got a much nicer introduction, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
That would only be between me and you.
Yeah, that's
now we're talking, we'd just be razzing each other, but not that kind of a thing. So
I love it. Well, nice to see you, gentlemen. It's,
Jeff, thanks for being here. Jeff was actually on the show, gosh, not long ago.
Mm-hmm. Right before Florida, when we all kind of got together and said, "Hey, let's blow the dust off this thing and see if we still know how to talk to people in person."
Right.
I'm glad to say I think we all made it through alive. And
it was a good show.
Yeah,
a really good show.
Tearing down and packing stuff up, I forgot how much work that is. So it's we're looking forward to it, man. I always
complain, but I very rarely complain about this because it's just kind of funny. I remember doing what you've done and packing and unpacking 20, 30 sets of speakers and amplifiers and stuff. Folks, it takes a lot to set up these rooms and break them down. It doesn't just take a lot of physical ability, which you just can't imagine how much there is to this. Some of these guys are in these rooms until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting these things set up for you just right. But there's just a lot of integrity going on with these rooms, and it's not something that these guys just pop in, say a few words, and go away. Most every single one of them will not leave that room until it can sound its absolute very best. And I really appreciate you guys about that. One of Jeff's partners is another good friend of mine, Buzz Goddard, who's just another wonderful person. These are two of the most approachable people in the industry. There's nothing you could say to them that's wrong. There's no lack of knowledge that you could have that would ever prevent either one of them from engaging fully with you.
I mean, it makes it's one of the fun things about representing Project at a show like this. We have a wide range of products. You talk about the passion and the drive and people that built companies. Our founder, Mr. Lichtenegger, is one of the most passionate product people you'll ever meet. As a result, the catalog for Project is huge. So it's kind of great for us because it's one of the reasons that we get to participate with y'all and do the Qobuz show, because it's not just analog. Of course, we make some great turntables at all different price points, but we're also real fortunate to build some really good sounding digital products, including a streamer that's been supporting Qobuz and a lot of other formats since the beginning. So we're big believers in however you want to listen, come on along. It's a big tent. Come on in, play good music, have some fun.
Really I know all the guys feel this way because it really is just the way it is. I don't care if you're listening to Pandora or Spotify or a turntable or an 8-track tape. I don't care what you're listening to, as long as you're listening to and enjoying music. So we get pitted a lot against people with turntables, and they're wanting, and it's like people almost want a, a knockdown, drag out, or a little bit of a debate on which do you like better.
No
Folks,
way.
if you're listening to a turntable and you're loving it, I believe it or not, I do the same thing. I've got a killer turntable set up downstairs. I love vinyl, but I love streaming as well. It's just do what you want to do. I think all of us can agree with that as long as you're listening to music.
Right.
Do what you maybe Leno would be a little different, because if you're not listening to his thing, then you're just not in. But there's a lot of people that have got Inuit systems that have got $300,000 turntables. And almost every one of them have cars. I mean, we listen to lots of different music in lots of different places, right? As long as you're having a good time doing it. I don't.
Although for the record, it's very, very difficult to listen to a turntable in an automotive setting. Trust me, we've tried. As part of the group, we have automotive OEM relationships. I've tried to shoehorn a turntable into the new Jeep with Macintosh, and it just didn't go.
Well, Jeff, believe it or not, we had a case where a dealer called us one day and says, "Look, I have a customer here that wants to install one of our servers in the car. Is that feasible?" Like, okay, that's not really practical. They're not designed to be in a car, but I mean, there's no moving parts. I mean, other than ripping, and you're not going to rip in the car anyway. So, you might as well give it a shot. And he did. He put it in his trunk. He had an inverter there, connected it all, had a listen on the car system, says, "I love it. This is not going away." Okay. That looks very interesting. So there's definitely, even in cars, there's definitely a good market for hi-fi. And as cars are getting more and more autonomous these days, there's more time to listen as well while we go.
Yeah, you may be onto something, because there will be a car on the expo floor showing, and they're not sure what they're showing yet, but they've got something.
Who is it?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Who is it, Mark?
And I'm sorry?
Who is it?
They're called Showtime Audio, and they are a local dealer / integrator. So I've asked him more than once, and he said, "Not telling you yet." So for the first time, we're actually going to have an automobile on the show floor. So
that's a great idea.
New York could be there. We don't.
Didn't Gail bring his a couple years ago, Dave?
No, it was but it was just for show, right? It was one of the.
It was just to get you to go upstairs, right?
It was the Lamborghini. It was like an early Lamborghini. Right. You're not getting much. You're not getting much sound quality in a Lamborghini. I don't care what.
But I'll tell you,
the engine is the sound quality.
Not enough air to move.
Yeah. I'll tell you, our company also works in car audio, both on an OEM basis, but also for years in the aftermarket. Some of the passion and the extreme level of engineering and just clever innovation into installing systems in some of these cars is just beyond imagination. And the sound quality can really reach the level of some of the finest home audio systems too. So
here's something you guys didn't know about me, but it years ago there was a company out called Naka and Iasca. These were all car companies that did contests for
sound competitions,
sound qualities, and that kind of thing. I used to be a judge for those contests when I was younger, and man, I'm telling you, you talk about passion.
Absolutely.
That's what I see with a lot of the manufacturers now that are showing the passion that the hobbyists showed in the 80s and the 90s. And there are some cars out now with just stock systems that totally blow me away. In fact, I was in Chicago. The last time I was in Chicago, I rented a Volvo S60. And it just had a smoking system. And just a few months before that, I rented another Volvo, and it had a big Dyne system in it. This was the big S70 convertible.
Oh, the C70.
That had a Dyne system in it. It was just like unbelievable. It was convertible. You could put the top down and crank that thing up, and it sounded unbelievable. Yeah, Dyne is. Dine got into car stereo, I think, almost by accident because people were actually going, "Hey, can we buy a tweeter?" I remember this, like before Dine was in cars. Can we buy a tweeter? Can we buy a mid-range or woofer from you guys? And hobbyists started putting these things in. I think before you guys ever even got in the business, wasn't it, Mike?
Well, before we started in the U.S., there was also the do-it-yourself market. And the guys at Alpine were buying Dyne Audio tweeters and drivers and putting them into cars. So they actually were marketing products with Dyne Audio drivers. So
awesome. So Jeff, tell me what's going to be in your room. I know you're going to have. I mean, I know there's some stuff you can't talk about, but tell me the stuff that you can talk about.
You know, we decided to do AXPONA a little differently a couple years ago, and we actually are not going to be upstairs in one of the demo rooms. We're going to be down in the candy store. We're going to be down in the marketplace.
Oh, the marketplace.
Yeah. So that's
the expo hall, but that's
the expo hall. Sorry. The expo hall. So we'll be down in the expo hall. That's true. Cause there will be some retail on the floor there. There's going to be a lot of cool exhibitors as well. But it's, you know, for what we try to do at these shows, which a lot of it is, we're going to show a broad range of product. We're not going to do a lot of formal demonstration. We just want people to come by, say hi, you know, kind of see what we have to offer. And then it's an easy way for me to sneak away from the table and buy records during the show. You know? Well,
there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah, it works great.
I don't want to get this too low on the totem pole because they do actually a really good job of that. If I remember correctly, you guys had a bunch of headphones and a bunch.
Oh yeah, no, we'll have a little listening station, and that's why you'll be able to come by and experience Qobuz and a couple of our headphone amps, both balanced and unbalanced. We'll have a couple of different DACs available. We'll be showing.
I think the last show you guys were at, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, because this is something I've been advocating for absolute years and years. I think people have got crappy desktop systems. People spend 7-8 hours in front of their computer, and they've got like maybe these tiny little speakers or none at all. They're just using them out of the monitor. This is something that will change your life, and you will never ever go back. The last AXPONA, I believe, you guys had like a little desk set up.
Yeah, that worked out really nicely.
Yeah, it was just really interesting. Little,
you know, we got our little. Where are we here?
There you go.
There we go. Into my Ethernet cable. Got our little, you know, compact desktop system, which is fantastic stuff. Plug in a set of headphones. Bit perfect little streamer that runs, you know, Qobuz, plays lossless from anything you'd like. Great little DAC, but we have a whole series of products in that chassis, from phono preamps to power amplifiers to, you know, DACs to streamers. We'll be showing 2 more products in this series at AXPONA, and 2 more products in its bigger series, the DS3 series. Would be pretty fun, and a couple of new analog products. So in total, we'll have 7 brand new for 22 products, 5 of which have never been seen anywhere in the world. Their debut will be at AXPONA.
World debut. Now, if you can't make AXPONA, which I'm sure there's going to be some people that can't make it, but if you can't make it, there's going to be some fantastic show coverage. Mark, tell me all of the press that's going to be there. I think Stereophile is going to be there. Absolute
sound,
part-time.
You know, I believe we're going to have representation from, you know, people that were going to come in 2020. You know, we had actually there were over 100 members of the press registered for 2020. I don't have that yet, and I might not know until we get closer to the show. You know, there's some local, you know, TV and radio shows that, you know, that come and walk the show, and you know, there's cool stuff there, you know, so they use it like for morning shows and things like that. So we'll see. So it's, you know, we're excited to see the press there.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. My point behind that was that if you can't make it, there's going to be a ton of press coverage on this thing. So while you might not be able to hear it, you can at least hear, you know, the impressions that people have of the room. No, I've got a question for you, because this is always interesting and it's always diverse. And if you can't tell me, that's okay. But what speakers are you using this time? Can you tell me?
In the room, at AXPONA, that is going to be the YG Vantage Live speaker.
Oh, the YGs! Wow, very cool. These guys are always showing something different. It's not like a fixed system by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think I've ever seen two systems that they ever did the same.
Yeah, we do try to diversify as much as we can with different partners, and YG has been a fantastic partner for quite a long time. And they've launched recently the Vantage Live system, so it's a fully active system. As you may know, we are kind of fans of very active systems. I mean, I have a pair of active Key 3s in my desk. We were talking about desktop systems, so I actually I'm very lucky to have an amazing system here in my desk with a statement, top of the range chord, Dave with M scaler, Key 3, and so on. It's a really nice system because obviously this is my job. I need to listen to this every day and try the products here. But we go with a lot of things because we have 2 rooms. We usually come with 2 rooms. So there's a main room where we'll have the Vantage Live, and we'll be normally we have more than one system there. So that is the thing that I won't be able to disclose right now. So you'll have to come and listen to what's going to be there. But then we have a second room where it's a lot quieter. Usually we have a headphone system, and we have 2, 3 of our systems. We connect them together, and people can actually, put on their headphones and just, tip the switch and just select source 1, source 2, source 3, and they can listen to each of the products and they compare kind of differences they have in sound quality. Usability is going to be very similar because obviously it's the same app controlling them all, but they can actually have a listen and decide, what's good for them, what's the best option for them. Yeah. And, contrary to what people might think, it doesn't have to be always the most expensive one of the highest end. I think a lot of customers come in and a lot of people come in and they listen to, let's say, the entry-level mini or something and say, wow, that's actually already quite good. This is what I want. I want something small. I want to put it in my desk, or I want to put it in someplace nice. And that's it. So that's also a room where we can chat, can chat to the press. We can chat to our partners. We can chat to both our existing customers or new prospective people that want to know all about us. So I think it's something that we like. I think we just have to make a request to Mark to try and get us a bigger room, because we have these nice systems, and we sometimes we need a little bit more of air to be pushed to push it around. But we'll get to that.
How many big rooms do you have, Mark?
How many larger spaces?
Mm-hmm.
We have about 35 larger spaces, meeting room suites, and then we have some suites, but they're a little bit larger. But no, this is one of the real Achilles heels that I feel, because I know that everybody wants a big room, and they're very hard to come by. And duly noted, Nuno, I appreciate it. But by the way, I notice you have a Phantom behind you. You're a DVLA Phantom.
I do. I mean, I have a whole lot of streamers behind me, and because we test with quite a lot of diverse stuff. So, for instance, we have these Kef Wireless Speakers, which have been with us since the launch of them. They've been launched with our product in London. Oh, wow. I think it was like 2016, I think.
Yeah.
So, we've partnered with DVLA before as well. We have a partnership with Bang & Olufsen. We have Sonos. We have all sorts of stuff around us because, our system, we try to keep it as open as possible so that it can connect to as many different things as we possibly can.
DVLA is our newest exhibitor. They'll be there.
Excellent. It will be great to see them.
They have a new phono preamp that they're going to be showing as well.
Nice.
So that's good. So, yeah.
I wish I would have brought up the whole. I should have done this. I didn't even think about it until right now. But I should have brought up the whole list of who will be there. But there's going to be some really, really great manufacturers there.
You can go to our site. You'll see the.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that just AXPONA.com?
AXPONA.com, and then there's you can actually access the brands, where they're located.
Very good. Very good. What
And-
have what didn't I talk about?
I have a ticket giveaway. It's a
Very nice.
contest.
I'm sorry.
So-
Say that again.
So this is our 11th year. So the first person, I'll give you my email address, Mark at JD Events. If you don't have a ticket, you might want to listen up. MARK at JD Events. The first one that can answer this trivia question: what movie does what movie is this one goes to 11? What's it from? So the first one to send me that gets a free 3-day pass to AXPONA. And anybody after that, if you don't have a ticket, we'll send you a code for 10% off.
Awesome. I just put that in the comments post. I have
Okay. I know
I-
if I articulated it well, but
I apparently
this
our
one goes to 11. What movie is it? This
It's
one goes to 11. Okay.
I can't believe that 45 other people haven't already answered this one. That's like
Yeah. Well, they said you got to email it in. Doesn't count if it's in the chat.
That's okay. Oh,
Mark knows a guy. Maybe he can cut loose a couple
Yeah,
extra tickets. I don't know.
that's fine.
well, we've got Bess in. Bess is a wonderful guy from Music Direct and one of the best guys. He will be there for sure. And it says, don't forget the live streams we did in 2020 with Mike Fremer and me.
That's right.
Bess
That's
always
right.
does
That's right.
outrageously good job. Let's see. Jim, thank you for being here. Let's see. Walter Schofield. Walter's with Krell. Walter, I think, will be there as well. Walter, thanks for coming. And once again,
Krell has new monoblocks. I think they're debuting at AXPONA.
Yep.
Sure,
And
I'll tell you.
here's Mark's email so that you can answer him. So you'll have to let us know. It's probably somebody already probably won this, Mark. Since it's going to your email address. Mike, is there anything that I've left out that you would like to talk about?
Nothing specific off the top of my head. I mean, you've been pretty thorough, but more than anything, I'm just looking forward to seeing all my industry family and friends, because we are a big extended family for sure, and see all of the fellow music lovers and just share our passion, because that's what it's all about, So we're really looking forward to it. Been a rough 2 years for a lot of people. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, and it'll just be great to see everybody and do it face to face, in person.
Absolutely.
What everybody does here is so noble, because music really saves people's souls. I know it's really helped me during some, these past couple of years, and really it's a lot of work. You put in a lot of hard work to deliver great products, and believe me, you're saving lives. You're saving people. You're making people feel sane again. And
Absolutely,
it's really,
that's what I was just going to say. We're maintaining our sanity. One thing.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
The one thing I was going to say. Did you guys mention for the attendees who the concert is going to be this year? What night of music you're going to have?
Thank you. Toronzo Cannon, a local blues legend, will be doing the Friday night concert. Thank you, Mike. And Lori Lieberman will be the Saturday night concert. It is free. Listen, it's really good. Those are both great. I mean, great entertainment, and it keeps people to stay and party and keep socializing and enjoying live music.
I think Lori's actually going to do a couple of the flash DJ sessions with me too.
That's great. And she has and I think they both have a new CD. I know that Lori does.
Lori does, yeah. They just finished. I don't think it's out yet, but they literally just finished mixing it. I think it was last week. So that should be an incredible album. Really, really a big Lori fan. Not only of her music, but she's just a wonderful person. So is her husband Joe. Just a great guy. And he does all the mixing for her, which is really interesting. And plus, Joe's going to be there with, oh my gosh, I'm blanking out. Is it Griffin? Griffin. Yeah, Joe will be there with Griffin. So
okay,
that'll be pretty awesome.
I know Rune will be there. Rune Scove and Jacob and the Griffin.
Oh, Rune, yeah. That'll be a lot of fun.
That's what you meant.
Jeff, did we leave out anything on your side?
Oh, there's too much to cover, and you could give me the whole hour, and we could. Wow,
we really could. I mean, you guys have got so many different products.
So just one little shout out, kind of the rest of our group. So while I'll be there with Sumiko, and under Sumiko, we'll specifically be handling Project USA and Sumiko phono cartridges. Our cousins and brothers and sisters from Macintosh and Sonus Faber. And Rotel and Basso Continuo racks, all of those products will be on display and with various dealers and other suites throughout the show as well. So
who's going to be there from the Mac group? It's going to be you and Buzz.
So we'll be sort of doing our thing, and then there'll be the Central U.S. Regional team. I believe Dan Wakefield and Bart LaPiccolo will be at the show. So we'll have a pretty good team there.
Will Will be there?
I'm thinking Will's going to be there. He'll be supporting a couple of the larger Sonus Faber installations at some of our dealers. So I don't have the full dealer list, but we'll be all over the place.
When we get to the show, one of the things that I'm super interested in doing is getting Nuno and Mike together. I want to take you over to the dining room because I got a funny feeling that you guys are going to become partners at some point in the future.
We've done Munich already with Dyn Audio speakers, so there you go.
So I didn't know that. The only ones that I've ever seen was with the key. So that's
also
awesome.
Active speakers, mind.
Yes, absolutely. Which is something that we've been doing since 2012 with the Zeos when we first introduced and launched them. One thing I want to mention, Dave, is that in our room, we're also going to have Matthew Bond audio. So Matthew, Terra Labs, Matthew Bond, has his new company, and we'll be showcasing their cable products in our room as well.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
They'll be there on hand, too. So I know a lot of people, consider Matthew a friend, and it'll be good to see him as well.
There's going to be a few cable companies there, I think, this time. I know Cardis is going to be there. AudioQuest usually makes, there's a ton of people that use their stuff too. And
Nordost will be there. Iconoclast. There's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So Uncle Joe with tributaries. Yeah.
It's going to be
Joe with tributaries. Yes. Clara.
Oh, I just got one of his little DACs. The Claris, I think it's called. It's very, very nice. Well, guys, I just want to tell you, I think we're just about out of time. We got about 2 minutes. I wanted to tell you, Mark, you and Liz, you've just done an absolute wonderful job. I'm really, really sorry for what you've had to go through for the last couple of years. I know it's not been easy on you guys, but you've handled it with class and with grace.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Can I just say thank you to all the exhibitors that have really been patient with us. This has been historic. And I know the rollover plan has not always been fun for people, but I got to tell you, we're going to look forward to the future. We're going to be together, and we'll have AXPONA for many years to come. So I just wanted to thank everybody that's been patient with us.
Just so we've got this information handy, what kind of COVID restrictions do you guys have right now? What kind of mandates is AXPONA going to have? Just so everyone knows.
Well, this could change at any time, and it has been changing. But as of actually the last 72 hours, Cook County has relaxed their mask mandate. So really, there's going to be not a mask mandate, or actually, you won't need to show a CDC card or a negative test at this time. That's how it is right now.
And
Okay.
for anybody from out of town coming to Chicago, actually, it's been since February 28th when they lifted the mask mandate in Cook County, which is the county that encompasses Chicago as a whole.
Okay.
But all the restaurants, you don't need to show a vaccine card anymore, the bars, etc. So they have opened things up effective February 28th. So, a little bit more normalcy right now, which is.
So listen, if you feel comfortable in the mask and that's the way you live your life, please feel free. Nobody's going to look at you weird or say anything to you. We will all appreciate your level of caring. However,
And at the same time, if there's any exhibitor that wants to say "mask up, please," they can put a sign right on their door.
Yeah.
And so I've always got one in my pocket. I'm sure there'll be masks.
But the
So
good thing is the county is loosening the restrictions because the numbers are improving, and hopefully we'll just keep moving in the right direction. And like I said, get back to a level of normalcy. And
I think so too.
Yeah, we do look forward just to having kind of a normal face to face. But obviously we'll adapt to the situation. So if things get a little bit worse, I mean, it's fine for us just to use masks, even if it's just to protect, the people who come and visit us as well. It's not just about, it's about the staff, but also about the people that are coming in. We'll be in touch with a lot of people, so we don't want to spread anything to anyone. So we ourselves are probably going to wear masks, although it's always a difficult thing to have when trying to have a conversation, particularly with some music playing.
Yeah.
We just want you all to feel comfortable. So be comfortable. If you want to wear a full body condom, go ahead. If you want to come naked, well, not naked, because we don't want to see no audio files naked. That's just not a
No.
it's not a good mental picture.
Man, oh man.
Thank you guys for all coming. We are offering a free 90-day subscription to Qobuz for everyone that comes. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you all at AXPONA in a few weeks. Mark, give me the dates and the times and the location one more time before we sign.
Okay, it's at the Renaissance in Schaumburg, and it will be April 22, 23, 24. And the hours are 10 to 6 on that's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 6 on Friday and Saturday, and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
Yeah. Excellent.
Great.
We look forward to see you all there.
Absolutely.
Seeing you all there.
All right. See you at the show.
You guys all hang out with me until we finish and until this is all over. Just bear with me a second. I'll bring you right back on. For now, I'm going to sign off and tell everyone thank you so much for joining us. And we look each one of us
for having us.
seeing you at AXPONA.
See you at AXPONA.
Thank you.